Man, I feel bad for this dude. Anyhow, on today's menu we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And no, I will not play Black Ops 7 yet, since we all know how this franchise turned from GOAT to shit overnight. But this is a still great one, as we all know, and Call of Duty games are basically same shit every year, or most of the time at least. Terrorists, bad Americans attack, and let's be honest, it's still the same thing in this game, just graphics and gameplay are changed a bit, but the story still bangs. First mission is set in where we play as Alex, and the rest of the boys are looking for a shipment that General Barkov sent, and the package contains gas. Guess who was his role model? But before we reached to the gas, the boys and I watched some beautiful fireworks and went inside and got jumped by a couple of guards, but didn't stop us from entering the warehouse where we found the gas. However, as we went back to the base, we got jumped by some Russians and somehow managed to survive. Laswell was in deep shit, so she decided to call the GOAT, Price. But before we meet the GOAT, we played as Kyle and had terrorist problems in London, so we handled it by killing terrorists and bomb runners. What surprised me is that the Price was in London and we met him, but unfortunately some guy had the bomb strapped onto him, so we had to throw him, but at least the others survived, and that's how Kyle and Price started working together. Remember our boy Alex? Yes, he found himself in Urzikstan and was working with Farah and her brother Hadir to eliminate few Russian helis with C4s and as well prepare for the war. They infiltrated General Barkov's forward operations base and also had interacted from a chopper. And we transitioned from Urzikstan to London now, and this was my favorite mission of all CODs. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with breach and clears and room clearing like this, where you have to be cautious and move around the corners. But at the end of the mission, we found a detonator, passport and some plans, and got the location of Wolf. While one squad was in civilization, Farah and the gang on the other side, far from taking a smoke break, were preparing to stop the Wolf trucks that apparently had civilians on it. The gang being US Marines that infiltrated the hospital and got a hold of the Wolf in kindergarten section. Which brings me to lots of suspicion. What was really funny is that the whole hospital was boogie bombed and trapped by removing a grenade from the string, and apparently the trap gets destroyed, which is a bit unrealistic, since wouldn't it still blow? But after capturing the Wolf in the embassy, let's just say it didn't go quite smooth. In fact, I don't even know if the building is still standing or not, since Butcher, aka Wolf's right hand, killed a civilian in front of us, and Price decided to take things into his own hands and terms, like first saving a civilian by using cameras, clearing the whole area, and then also using lasers to rocket down half of the buildings, just to realize that the Wolf has escaped. Now Farah over here tried to be 2 steps ahead, but they were actually 2 steps behind, since the guy behind the gas barrels was her brother Hadir all this time. And we played as Farah when she was still a child, and how their father was killed by this giant buff Russian bloke that they killed together and then escaped, or tried to at least, since Barkov got a hold of them. I get it, it's still a game and all, but to make moves like that since you were a child were absolute cinema. Anyhow, we went to the Wolf's den and got inside of a cave, killed some more enemies, and then Farah put a bullet inside Wolf's head, and then after we defused the bomb and replayed again Farah's memories, but this time she and her brother were in a prison, and apparently they sent some kind of message, so Barkov tried to get the answers about the leader, but little did he know she was actually the leader, and she also managed to escape and release every single prisoner and led them all to fight back and caught Price's eye, so they started working together, and that's how her allegiance and friendship with Price started. On to my second favorite mission, which was torturing Butcher to the point where we got his family and then killed him in front of them, also leaving the gas for the police to get. They also find Hadir's HQ, but basically before we get to see him, we needed to release 3 civilians, and after we got him, apparently he was still on our side, but they couldn't finish the chat since they got attacked by a helicopter and Russian infiltrated the building, but they managed to escape and the last mission has started. Now this one was one of the best last missions ever, since we got a tank on our side to snipe down some folks, set some charges inside of a building, and of course our our boy Alex tried to raise up the Haas, but she couldn't give a fuck. So we went to plant some more charges while the boys were doing the explosive work. She managed to sneak up inside of a Barkov's heli, slice him up like a fruit ninja, and exploding everything, leaving us on a cliffhanger for part 2. Yeah, I know this was a quick video and all. It's a Call of Duty, for God's sake. You do rinse, wash, repeat. Basically that's it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments which next game should we play. Till then, stay safe and peace.